Hi, everybody. It's Angel, and I'm here with my show. I'm so excited. Today, we are going to be talking about Feng Shui and Feng Shuiing your lifestyle. Oops, I got to put my volume down. Feng Shuiing your lifestyle, your home, your pets, your wardrobe, your food. We're going to be talking about a lot of the basics and stuff that you're going to be able to take home with you and start working with today. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun for you. But before we start, we got to do a little bit of the caretaking, which is if you want to be on the show with me, you are more than welcome to come and sit with me live today. Hi, everybody. Hi, Glenda. Hi, Carmela, Gloria, Maria. Oh my gosh, everybody is coming today. This is awesome. So on this show, if you want to come and sit with me screen to screen, you need to turn off your computer. You need to turn it back on again. This will close all your background apps. Make sure you have access to give permission to your camera and give permission to your microphone. In doing that, you should be able to come and sit with me. This will work mostly with your laptop. This won't work to come and sit with me on your phone. There's my My Show coffee. I just got it today. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about Feng Shui. Well, what is Feng Shui? Feng Shui is an ancient Chinese tradition. Feng Shui is the art of harmonizing self and home. Mostly it's about home because we are looking at structures and buildings. We're looking at companies and things like that, but it goes further than that. So I was trained a long time ago by an absolutely phenomenal woman named Sharon Hay, who runs the Canadian School of Feng Shui. And she works with a style of Feng Shui called the Black Hat Sect. And the Black Hat Sect Feng Shui is Western Feng Shui. It's a Western tradition, and it is an intuitive tradition. And it's really cool because I had been thinking about Feng Shui and what I wanted to do. And all of a sudden, I was online, and as things happen with me, all of a sudden I found this place, and it was intuitive Feng Shui. And I thought, oh, this sounds really cool. And I started working with Sharon a very long time ago, and we worked together for years and years and years. We still know each other, and I'm hoping to actually have her on the show. She's been on many of my shows. So Feng Shui is the art of harmonizing the home. And there are very specific ways to do that. But one of the basics in Feng Shui is called the Bagua map. Now, this is actually the traditional Bagua map. I'm going to show you this. Hold on, I'm going to hide that for a second. I forgot I had this one. And this is a traditional map. And this is a really great map. I'm just going to go to bring me back. That was funny. Oh my God. Okay, I got to get rid of that picture. I got to get rid of that picture because that's going to happen again. That was so funny. Okay. So the premise with Feng Shui is that, hi Maria, how are you? Is that it is sectioned off into 9 squares. And in these 9 squares, as you can see, and I'm going to show this in the stream, let me get rid of this one, is you have your wealth and prosperity, fame and reputation, marriage, creativity, and children, the center, which is health. For me, that's health. Then this side over here is family. And then wisdom, self-cultivation, career, helpful people, and travel. Now, please understand at any given point, please ask questions. I'm going to actually give the guest link early today because Feng Shui, a lot of people have questions about their own homes, and I want to make sure that that people are in tune with that and that they have their questions answered today. And also, like I said, in the second half, we are definitely going to Hey, wait a second. Oh, I want to get rid of that sound. And I want to comment. And in the comment section, I am going to put our, wait a second. In the comment section, I'm going to put our what do they call it? Link, our guest link. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. So our guest link is there. So if you do want to come and sit with me, you're more than welcome. Ask your Feng Shui questions as we go on. Second half of the show, I am going to do readings. So as I was saying, we have the 9 sections. These 9 sections, if you look at your house from the top of the house, so you're looking from a bird's eye view, you would place this over your home. So when you go into your home facing inward, yes, your furthest left-hand corner would be your wealth and prosperity. And especially in these days and times, this is a very important section for a lot of people. I haven't had my coffee today, so you'll have to forgive me. This is my feng shuiing my body, and we will be talking about that. So that's your wealth and prosperity. Then you go to the back center of your home. That's fame and reputation. Back right is marriage, and then center right is creativity and children. I'm going to go through these squares and tell you how to utilize them and what to do and how to use them effectively. So if you know anybody who wants to listen to this, this is a good show to be watching and ask questions. Center is your house. So usually, traditionally, that would be the kitchen. Okay, because that's where the family conglomerates, that kind of thing. A lot of times now it can be the yeah, I don't know if there are any feng shui experts in the Kawartha Lakes area. That's actually a really good, question, but I do feng shui, so I can work with you no matter where you are globally. Because with feng shui, not only can I work with you to give you the information you need, I can come to you as well, depending on where you are. And with Black Hat Sect, because it's so intuitive, it's a little different than the traditional Black Hat, the traditional feng shui, and I will get into that. So the health and family is going to be on your farthest left, your mid left center of your home. Then the bottom left is your wisdom, self-cultivation. Front door is your career. That's a really important section too. And then the bottom right is the helpful people and travel. So what do you do with this information? Well, in traditional Chinese feng shui, what would happen is, an ancient art, is they would take a compass and they would find out what the directions are exactly, like to the point. So my house is not on the cardinal points, so north, south, east, and west. In fact, it is east, southeast is what mine faces. And what's really, really interesting, or sorry, it is northeast. So this house that we got is based on me. Now, the thing is that it's based on the breadwinner of the family. That is excessively important. Now, I'm not necessarily the breadwinner, but he and I come very close, and there's more potential for me to grow. So we got this first place based on what my directions were. And when we came in, it can be really difficult because it's not on the cardinal point. If you're lucky enough to have a house on the cardinal point, that makes life easy with Chinese traditional feng shui. With intuitive feng shui, you walk into your house, you look at the back of your home, and you go, okay, you know what? That's my fame and reputation. That's how I want people to see me. So on that back wall, you want to put things that are reflective of who you are. So for me, I want people to see me as compassionate, a great mom, a speaker, somebody who is charming and outgoing. So these are things that I want to be recognized for. Humanitarian, somebody who shares. So what I can do is I can write all of those things down, put a picture in that area, and put it behind the picture. Right? This is what we do with intuitive Black Hat Sect. With traditional Chinese feng shui, which is beautiful and gorgeous, and I've studied too, they have very specific ways that they would activate, we call it activation, that they would activate those areas. So fame and reputation, they might have a little red envelope with a dragon on it. You see it at Chinese New Year when they give you the little red envelope and they put a coin in it. You can use those little red envelopes, and they have different pictures on it symbolizing different things. And then you can put words on that inside those envelopes. Now you can get those in Chinatown as well, wherever you are. I'm sure there's an Asian market that you can find those in, which is really great. In Toronto, it's around the Spadina area. So when you have your fame and reputation, right, this is how you want people to see you. So Black Hat Sect is about live with what you love. And that's really important. Live with what you love. Now, Carmela says, I am in the process of designing my master bedroom, and I would love to add an accent forest bluish green wall behind my bed frame. Some people are hesitant towards dark colors in the bedroom. Just wanted to know your thoughts on that. Okay, so again, it's live with what you love. If those colors resonate with you, that's fantastic, but understand it could also be a phase you're going through, so make sure it's something that you're going to be okay with for a while. Darker colors are also harder to make lighter later, so just remember that that's from a practical aspect. Also, what are your colors? So in Feng Shui, we can also look at color therapy, right? We can add other elements to it. So if you're looking at green, and if you check out the map that I put up here, green is health and family, so you're amplifying those areas. So as I said, your house, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. You're so excited. Your house from the bird's eye view, you can put the Bagua map on top and then you section it out into those 9 areas. And Carmela, this is going to answer your question. Now, with each room of your house, you can put this as, think of it as a carpet, put it on the carpet of your floor. Okay, the carpet of your room. So when it's in the carpet of your room, now your wealth and prosperity is going to be in the farthest left-hand corner of your room. The fame and reputation will be at the back of your room. The right-hand corner will be the marriage segment. So every single room, you can place the Bagua map in like a carpet, okay, if you envision it that way. But it's always from the perspective of the door. The door, the door, the door. I cannot stress that enough. Whereas with Chinese traditional, it's a little bit different because each, again, it's more about directions and it's very complex and it's very intricate and it's just, oh my God, it's so juicy. But it's definitely a life's dedication. So in your master bedroom, Carmela, you've got to ask yourself, what colors really resonate with me? Which ones do I want? Now, green is a very, very healing color. So that's going to be really great, especially for mental state, for calm, for all of those wonderful things. So I like that. Darker colors for you are good, but understand that's going to also make the room feel smaller, whereas Feng Shui, we want to feel expansive. So if you're going to have one wall that's that color, fantastic. As an accent wall, that's amazing because that could actually widen the rest of the room. So that's something you want to take a look at. I want like a fountain of information. I don't know where I get all this stuff. My 17 years, you collect it, right? And I love sharing it. It's so much fun. And I don't get to talk about Feng Shui a lot. So when we're talking about the bedroom, now you're talking about somewhere that you're spending a lot of time. This is where the majority of your time is spent. We're talking 6 to 8 hours, unless you're like, in your 20s. And then you're spending 3 hours, 2 hours in there. And then if you're 16, you're spending almost 24 hours in there. So your bedroom is really important. When you come into my bedroom, on the farthest left-hand corner, you'll find that there's a money tree because that's where my money center is. So I cleared off my desk. I have my money tree there. Well, I had to put it downstairs because it was so lush we had to move it. So I'm getting a new baby. I'm so excited. But you can put your money tree on a dresser beside you. But what if you don't have the space? So in my kitchen, when you come in, that's the money corner. And I have a cabinet there and I have my broom. And my mop and my my broom thingy. What do they call them? The broom pan. So what's a really interesting thing is that can be considered good or bad. It's perspective. Live with what you love. For me, that's about cleanliness. As long as I keep that area clean, and you can put a teeny tiny little picture of a bamboo tree. I have a cabinet there, so it's in that segment. Part of the cabinet actually falls into that segment. So inside the cabinet, I have a cup with a citrine stone. Now, with Black Hat Feng Shui, which I absolutely adore, because you're living with what you love, if you're an energy worker, this opens all kinds of things up because now you can use stones. You can use statues, you can use pictures, you can use colors, you can use things that you make. Wind chimes are always beautiful and they're also traditional Feng Shui. So you can use traditional stuff too. Like I have a 3-legged frog that I absolutely love that was given to me that I have on my desk. So for me, It's really important to have things that are field-based. And one of the things that we learned, what I loved about Black Hat Feng Shui, was that when I walked in the room, the very first time I worked with my teacher, I could feel what needed to be shifted. And I remember looking at a picture in this woman's room going, okay, you know what? How much do you love that picture right there? Like, it's in a great spot. It's wonderful. It's a family. It's gorgeous. It's wonderful. But how much do you love it? She goes, yeah, I'm phasing out on that picture. And I'm like, you are? I said, well, what do you want there? She goes, I want kids there because, you know, I'm a daycare worker and we have kids in our family and it's career. I said, okay, then find something and replace it. She goes, well, what do I do with that picture? So put it away. We go in phases. We're cyclical. So in my house, my bedroom is all trees because we have a thing about trees. Every wall has a tree on it and a forest motif, and then our window actually opens up onto our backyard, which has a huge maple tree. So it's a forest thing. But we get bored because, you know, that's who we are. And I love black and white, as you can see my black and white painting there, but we also love color. So sometimes we kind of go, okay, you know what, we need to switch it up a bit. So downstairs, I have about 4 or 5 different paintings, and every once in a while we switch that up when we change it. We actually just got a new painting for our living room, and it's gorgeous, all filled with color. And it's Leonid Andromov. He's amazing. And he actually, his colors are so yummy. I will put his link on later because his stuff is just phenomenal. His pieces are great. And it's a couple. And they're just in the evening and they're walking together. And every time I see it, it inspires me. You know, and it's over our dinner table where our family sits. Like, that's something that you want to feel every time you look at. And even if, you know, I'm having a bad day or I'm having a bad day with my family, I look at that and it reminds me of who we are. Right? So these are the kinds of things that you want to have in your home for your feng shui, but understand the placement is what's important. It's about placement. So now let's take a look at, we looked at fame and reputation, what you can do there. Let's take a look at the marriage center. So the marriage center, when you walk in a room, you're looking at the farthest back right-hand corner. And the farthest back right-hand corner is in twos, everything in twos. Whatever you have, do it in twos. So maybe a statue of 2 swans who are embraced, 2 people who are dancing, a picture of you 2 as a couple. The one thing I caution, don't put any water features in that area, especially if you're not looking to get pregnant and you are a young couple. Okay, because water is an indicator of the womb. So if you do that, there is a very, very good chance that you could end up getting pregnant. It does happen. It really does. If anybody has any questions about feng shui, they're moving into a home or they want to change it up, please ask. This is a great show to do that with. I saw Joy. Hi, Joy. How are you? I see you. If you're enjoying this, please give us some loves, give us some likes, let us know how much you like it. Remember, too, that you can watch this show over and over again afterwards because I do put it on YouTube. I do post it on my site as well. If you want to know more about me, too, you can always go to Raising Energy or at Raising Energy on Instagram, which I absolutely love. And these are places that you can find me and you can talk to me about the things that you want to. Geraldina says, hi, Angel, any changes on my relationship? Okay, Geraldina, I'm going to talk to you about that through your feng shui. So feng shuiing relationships. This, again, is about our home. Our home reflects our inner state of being. So if you have a cluttered home, you got to ask yourself, how cluttered are you? Now, you can have a lot of stuff. It's about organizing that stuff. I don't care. We have boxes downstairs. Carl's a box collector, which I'm totally cool with, but it's on a nice little wall and it's his box corner. So that I don't care about so long as it's in an organized fashion, right? That's the really important thing about feng shui. So you can have a lot of stuff as long as it's nice and organized. When it comes to relationships, I remember the very first time I went to somebody's home. And in her right-hand corner at the back, which is her marriage center, she had a very big freezer, one of those big meat locker freezers. And in every area in her home that was the marriage area, in every room, she had a picture of her and her dog. So of course I looked at her and I went, so you're very close to your dog, aren't you? She goes, yeah. And I said, we kind of feels like you're married to him. So I said, why don't you switch it up? Why don't you kind of put some things in there that reflect you and the person that you want? Maybe even a letter to the person that you want to be with, even though they're not in your life yet. Write something to them about who they are, what you want, what you can offer, and just your love for them that you already feel. And so she did that. And I would say within 6 months, she ended up meeting the gentleman that she ended up marrying, which is really cool. That's a really important thing to know, that these centers are centers of energy. So these energies you're activating, you're actually bringing them to life. So when we talk about relationships, we're talking about you being able to change your relationship, Geraldina, just by changing a segment of your home. Now, a lot of people are going to go out and go, oh man, you know what? I want to change this area and that area and those areas, and I've got to do it all. You don't. Pick 2 or 3 areas to work on. Okay, the 2 or 3 areas that are really, really important to you, and work on those. And remember that with Feng Shui or any energy, it can take 2 to 4 weeks for it to really start, and about 8 weeks in Feng Shui for the energy to really start to move. So as soon as you change it up, the energy has been activated, excuse me, but for it to accumulate, for it to shift, for you to start seeing that, it takes about 8 weeks, okay? So Geraldina says, I will be getting married in October. Sorry, Camilla says, I will be getting married in October, and we talk about playing baby roulette. So if it happens, it happens. I know you mentioned water as a good baby maker probe. I like that. Do you have any other things to place in the bedroom or the house for healthy pregnancy if it does happen? Absolutely. So again, now this is a really nice segue into 2 other areas. So in the creativity and children area, as you can see, if I'm looking into my room, it's on the left middle of that room. This is in your bedroom. Okay, Carmela. What you can do is you can write healthy pregnancy and put it there. On the other side is healthy family. This is where your pictures go. So right now you don't have the child, but you can put pictures of pregnancy. Draw a picture of you, even if it's a stick figure of you pregnant, and put down healthy. Anything that reminds you of a healthy pregnancy, a good pregnancy, because those are the energies that you want to take in. The Native Aboriginals and the Asians believe that when you see something, you take it in. When you see it enough, it becomes a part of who you are. So these are things that you can do. And yes, I actually see, Carmela, that you will have a child. Actually, maybe even a couple. One more. But the big thing for you is that anything energetic. So the other thing is stones are good for you. Stay away from hematite because it's magnetized. So magnetized can actually, it doesn't harm a pregnancy, but it doesn't help either. So if you're grounding and stuff like that, maybe a lapis lazuli or something else that's a little bit more grounding. But there are stones that you can use that will help for healthy pregnancies. And they're just saying, listen to your body. I'm actually hearing them go, just listen to your body. Really effectively do what your body is telling you to. So even if it feels like out of sorts, like for me, I constantly wanted salt. And we've actually lived in Little Jamaica, so ackee and saltfish was a big thing for me. So listen to your body. Okay, that's going to be a big thing for you to come out, but I don't see any issues anyway. In the bedroom is a big place for you to amplify the family area, the creativity and children area, and the health and family area. So the health and family area, or the family area, I should say, is a really big area for you to focus on, Carmela. Okay, creativity in children. These are things you want to achieve. So awards can go in this area. If you have an office, you can put your achievements, things you want to achieve, all kinds of stuff, your medals, things like that. If you're looking to have a child, this is something you want to achieve. Anything you want to achieve. It could be buying a new bike, buying a new car. This is your achievement center. So again, pictures of healthy children, people with healthy children, you with a healthy child. I don't know, something fun. Okay, do something fun. So those 2 areas for you, Carmela, are exceptionally important. Kim, this is so interesting. Do you ever do home visits to help people wanting to incorporate into their home, or maybe an online course? Yeah, actually, I do home visits. I do Feng Shui. I even have like a big binder that I bring with me that we can talk about. But the difference with me coming into somebody's home is I teach them how to do it themselves. So I come in, I work with you, I do a consulting session, we change things, we look around, that kind of stuff. And then Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. My computer just decided to crash. I don't know why. Welcome, Mercury retrograde. So hopefully that won't happen again. But Be Live being Be Live, because they're so freaking awesome, doesn't shut you down. It just freezes you. So I'm back. I am sorry about that. I do home visits. I do that kind of stuff. I don't do basic courses. For that, you have to find somebody else to do for sure, because I'm not as skilled in this as I would love to be. However, I do come into homes and I am skilled enough to work with you in that fashion for sure. Thank you for that question, Kim. I appreciate it. Okay, so we were looking at the health and family area. We're looking at creativity in children. Now, with Black Hat Feng Shui, it's family area that's to your mid-left. The center is usually health, okay? So just so you know, that's a little bit different for me, but that's okay. So the health area is your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. It always used to be that we would be in the kitchen. That's where the family would come together. So in this particular case, in today's day and age, it's usually the living room. Whatever your center is, that place is the place for your health and healing. These are places where you can put healing crystals like selenite for cleansing and clearing. These are places to keep clean and spacious, because that's how you want to feel inside, okay? So that's a really important one. My favorite area is wisdom and cultivation. Wisdom and self-cultivation. Anybody want to take a guess as to what that area means? Because if you do, I will give you a 15-minute read. Wisdom and self-cultivation. Who knows what that means? Do you pick one room or do a little in different rooms? That's what Donna Red McKenzie says. Actually, I was saying that earlier. This is a very good question and it does need reiterating. Don't do it all at once. So you pick a room, do a little different room. So pick an area you want to work on. So if you want to work in the wealth area, pick the rooms that you want to work in with that wealth area. It doesn't have to be every single room, but let's say you're doing wealth area, marriage, and health and family. Pick the main rooms that you would work in. So for me, wealth and prosperity would be my bedroom, my office, and probably my living room, just simply because we're there all the time. Actually, no, my kitchen, because it's in a corner that has like the dustpan and the broom, and that's why I want to make sure that that's always a strong area. So if you have a weak area, you want to make sure that you're working on that area to keep it strong. So that's a really wonderful question. So no, you don't want to work on everything all at once. Be picky. What are the rooms you want to work on that are very important to you, and what 2 or 3 areas do you want to work on, say every 6 to 8 weeks, and change it up or bump it up. You might want to go, okay, you know what, this week I want to work on health and prosperity. You come back 8 weeks later and go, I want to bump up the health and prosperity. Wisdom and cultivation. So the wisdom and cultivation area, Karen, you have to look back on the show because we actually talked about that. We talked about fertility and promoting fertility. Very, very, very interesting thing. The wisdom and self-cultivation is about your knowledge of whatever you want. So for me, I'm interested in mythologies. I'm interested in Feng Shui. I'm interested in cultivating my business academically. So what I do is I have a little bookcase in my office. My bookcase is in that center. So Carl's got all his computer stuff, and I have all my energy workbooks and all that kind of stuff, because that's going to enhance my need, my focus, my concentration, my want, my desire for those kinds of knowledges. And then I kind of change it up a bit, okay? So that's something that you can do. Wisdom and self-cultivation is also somewhere where you can put your weight training stuff, because you want to cultivate your physical being, your mental being, your emotional being, and working out can help you with that. So that's something you can put in that corner. So I had a house where that area of one of my rooms in the basement was actually my wisdom and self-cultivation area. Okay, so it doesn't always have to be about mental knowledge and intellect. It can be emotional stuff. So you might have, if you're a psychologist or you work with kids in daycare, you might have books on that kind of stuff, or you might have your kids corner there, right? For your little ones, might be in the self-cultivation area. Joseph had a toy room once, and now that I remember it, all his Einstein stuff was there. I used to call it the Einstein stuff. So all of his school stuff, because we homeschooled. So his toys that were educational, his books that were educational, his writing stuff, his desk was in that corner, all that kind of stuff. Then we have the career center. Career center is about you and your career or the career of your spouse, children, that kind of thing. We have in our career center, well, I don't have it right now. It's actually facing the door, but we'll talk about that. In the career center, I have a little drawer, and in that drawer, you can put your resumes, you can put your business cards. This is about you and what you want. A little note that says, this is my ideal or perfect career if you're looking for that. If you're educating right now or you're about to graduate, a really good place to put that special, this is what I want to do with my life section. Okay, the career is a huge one. This is usually at the door too. Remember that everything you have in your home, that energy is what you take out into the world with you. This is what you take out into the world. The energy of your home is what you take out. So you want your home to be your oasis. You want your home to be a reflection. Oh, excuse me, a true reflection of you and your inner you. For us, it's a really beautiful place because it's very definitively us, our home. Like if you see our bedroom, even the wood is very, very uniquely us. That we chose. We were very careful in picking the things we have. We have animals in the room. It's just everything about us is this house. And you don't even have to buy your home. It doesn't matter if you're renting or owning. The reality is your name is on the lease. So your name being on the lease is a very important thing because that's your energetic commitment to this space. Wisdom self-cultivation is about being mindful or working on yourself. Both. It's both. It's everything. Whatever self-cultivation means for you. That's a really great question. So then the last one that we have is helpful people and travel. For those of you who are faithful, religious, this could be God. It could be Jesus. Okay. For those of you who like to network, it could be your boss. Like for me at Rogers, I have my wonderful, wonderful executive producer, Jim Anderson. I have his card. Which area do you think that's going to be in? It's going to be in my helpful people and travel area. We'll talk about travel. I have, I have my osteopath. Her card is in that section. Anybody who is helpful to you to move you forward in some ways. For me, I focus very mainly on my career because my family, I really focus that on the family area. The things I want to achieve with my family, I put that in the achievement area. So this helpful people and travel, this goes in here. Now travel, not really interested in our family. And it's not a big thing for us. I've done most of my traveling when I was younger. So that's not a big thing. But for a lot of people, it actually is. So this is where you can put books about travel. Right? Pictures of places you want to go. Now, this actually leads me to the vision board. Oh, everybody loves them. For those of you who don't know what a vision board is, it's a visual representation of the things you want. Now, a lot of people will throw things up on their vision board willy-nilly. Big thing for me. I like to feng shui my vision board. I love doing that. So if I have a vision board, the top left area corner is my wealth and prosperity. That's where my business card goes. And then I have another one in my helpful, in my career area, in my fame and reputation, all the stuff I want to have people see me as, a TV host, radio, all that kind of stuff. In the marriage area, before I met Carl, who is my beautiful, wonderful man, I had a beautiful picture of a tree that actually ended up moving into two people embracing each other. Now, here's the funny part. Carl is obsessed with trees. Careful what you ask for. What you put up there, is it the chicken or the egg? Was that the universe telling me about the person who is coming to me and the loves he already had? Or was this me manifesting somebody who had that love of nature? Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. That picture resonated so highly with me that I actually put it in my marriage center, and this was what I ended up with, right? There's a beautiful alignment, and that's the ideal. That is the word, alignment, okay? Now, another really big thing with Feng Shui that we need to understand is straight lines. So if you have a straight line, that creates a wind tunnel or an energy tunnel, and you don't want that. So if you have stairs, like let's say you come into your front door of your house and you have stairs that are right in front of it and they go straight upstairs, that's not what you want. You want the energy to, as my teacher would say, meander. You want it to go like this, like a snake. Think of a snake. Okay. okay? This is why when you have a walkway, you want something that kind of meanders or at least turns, right? So it goes like an L shape before you get to your steps. These are really important things because you want energy to move. You don't want straight lines in that particular area, in those particular areas. So what you want to do is learn how to break up areas. And it's a really easy thing to do. Whether you have plants, maybe like I have, if you come into my area, I have a landing, and in the corner of that area, I have a particular plant that I really like. The other thing too is that bathrooms. Remember that in ancient China, bathrooms are outside, they weren't inside. So you need to ground your bathroom, especially if it's in the money area. If you have a bathroom in your money area, you want to ground that. How do you ground that? You can use stones. Because washrooms are very water oriented, you want to use stones, plants, anything like that. That can really help to enhance. Don't use blues in a bathroom if you can possibly help it. If you can't, just offset it with different colors that are very grounding, like greens and browns. Keep the door closed if you possibly can, because that will keep the energy confined and contained in the bathroom. I have 3 bathrooms. 2 of those bathrooms I can keep closed. 1 I have to keep open a crack. That's okay, but it's not open all the time, all the way. Also, mirrors, a big, big thing. You don't want mirrors at the end of your bed so that it's the first thing you see. The first thing you see in the morning should be inspiring to you. For me, I'm snake medicine. So the first thing I see is my snake Cyrus. He is beautiful, but he also symbolizes the work I do. It's about release. It's about helping people see new perspectives, step into their new skins. Carl, fortunately enough, in his guide position is snake as well. So that helps him to connect to his sense of feel, but it also helps us both to continually release the junk that we don't need. And that's not easy sometimes. And we also have a picture of a tree, as you can see behind me, because my bed is actually in front of where I am right now. So mirrors, when you wake up, seeing yourself disheveled, that's the energy you're going to take with you subconsciously. Okay, this is a subconscious thing. Questions. What about plants? Are specific plants better than others? I don't have a green thumb, but I love filling my house with flowers. I would love to add a cactus somewhere in my house, but I joke it represents pricks. On so many levels, it represents that. Yeah, so again, it's about placement because I love cacti as well. I think they're amazing. Oh, hi, Blackie. Look, she's up there. I didn't even see her up there. Aw, I got myself a cat. And that's the other thing too, right? Active energy in corners is always nice. So if you have a plant, shake it up a little bit. If you have things that are in the corner that are there all the time, you want to make sure there's some movement happening. So where plants are concerned, so cacti, that's actually a really good one to bring up because they are prickly. Those are called arrows. And the arrows can be very bad depending on where they are. Like you don't want to put a mirror in front of a cactus plant. But if the cactus plant is part of a floral arrangements or something like that, it's fine. If it's something that inspires you, that's fantastic. Remember that a lot of cacti too are very healing. So they are healer plants as well. Again, it's just about placement. Where do you want to put it? A lot of times I'll actually put my cactus outside because you can find little ones that are not like Arizona cacti, and they just kind of keep multiplying themselves. If they're inside though, it just depends on what you want. It depends on where you want to put it. You know, it really does. Again, it's live with what you love and your perception of it. So if you have a positive perception of it, it's fine. If you don't have a perception of it, a positive perception, it may not be. Now, remember too, cacti can be looked at as protective, like a porcupine's quills. So if you want your business to be protected, put it under there and go, you protect, right? Write a little note, stick it under there, you protect. Or even when you put your little plant there, go, you are protecting this area. That is your job. That is your energy. You are to protect, you are not to harm. Remember that plants are living things. They hear you, they understand you, they love you. I don't care what anybody says. It's true. Okay, good. So that's a really good one. So plants, it's also, again, about live with what you love. I tend to really go towards plants that are like money trees, bamboo trees, things like that. I love trees. That's my big thing, right? The other thing, too, is that if you have animals, be very careful because you want to make sure that they're non-toxic. Right? That's also a consideration. So what you bring into your home also has to resonate with others in the house. If it's something that you really love, but your partner doesn't love, it's something that's a discussion. right? Because they have to live with what they love too. My son came down and said, I'm not really fond of that great big painting in the living room that you just bought. And I asked him why, what's the reality of it. And he kind of went, yeah, but I'm not down here a lot and I'm going to go to university. At some point I'm out of here. So it's really about you guys. But he has some really nice paintings in his room that are very inspiring to him. Oh yeah, right. Thank you, Debbie. That's a real, or Marie Claude. That's a very good point. Also, close your toilet lids, right? So you don't want to leave your toilet lids up for several different reasons. Please understand that when you flush it, that's 6 feet of spray. So on a practical level, it's gross. But you do want to keep the lids closed. That's a very important thing. The garage count in the Bagua map. Yes, it can count in the Bagua map. Now, this is a very interesting thing you brought up because a lot of houses will have a missing area because of their garage, or they'll have a missing area. So not all houses are square, right? Some of them are L-shaped. So that area that's open, and that's a really good point, Marie-Claude, is that you want to make sure that those areas that are open are grounded. So you want to put a stone there, a statue there, a tree there, maybe a little garden there, something to ground it. And that's also the back of your home. If you notice a lot of townhouse complex, they have trees in the backyards. That's actually really good feng shui. Traditional feng shui, we'll put a turtle, like a stone turtle in the back, and that's to ground the home. So for me, it can be a statue. We have a beautiful tree, so I didn't have to do anything, which is really cool. My dogs only will drink the water from the toilet. Okay, so again, it's again, live with what you love, work with what you can, and again, it's that whole thing of what is best for you. So again, you've got to ground that bathroom. If you're going to keep it open, if you're going to keep the lid up, just ground it, ground it, ground it. Plants, stone motifs, pictures, things like that that just can ground the area. Because remember too that the toilet symbolizes things going down the drain, right? So you want to make sure that that area is just very, very grounded. That's all. That's all. Also, you might want to consider kind of edging them away from the toilet because toilets do tend to have some bacteria in it. Just the thought. Okay, questions, anybody? This particular topic is a huge topic that can go on for years and years and years as far as I'm concerned. Now, we've talked about home. Let's talk a little bit about those who own a business. So this one is good for Debbie. This one's good for Karen. This is good for any entrepreneur. When you walk into your office or into your particular venue, again, it's the same thing. Bagua map stays the same, bird's eye view. You're looking at the top of your office, right? You're going to have maybe somewhere that is money oriented. Let's say you own a store. So you have a cash sitting there. That is going to be hopefully in your money area, but a lot of times it's not. But that doesn't mean you can't bump it up with money, okay, with money motifs or symbolisms or that kind of thing. Remember that when you have a business, this is now a family, right? Business is a family. Your wealth and prosperity is their wealth and prosperity. How do you want to look within that business? What does your image look like? This is also your career. What kind of wisdom, self-cultivation within that business do you want to inspire? So when you come in, what do you want in that bottom left-hand corner for people to see when they walk in, right? What is it that you want to see? It's all about what you see and what you energetically want to work with. Travel agency. Right? Helpful people in travel is going to be a huge area for you, Debbie. That's a really big one. Creativity in children. Maybe you want to, in that section, put pictures of happy families who are traveling. That's a huge one, right? Helpful people in travel area might be where all your magazines are and all that stuff to help people move that forward. It's a marriage of people. Right? So if you have partners that you work with, that kind of thing, you want to make sure that you're always connected to your clients. It's always about the clients and it's always about your family within your business. Okay, so I'm just touching on that a little bit. Wealth and prosperity area, very, very important. Love having that area as your office. Please be careful. Receipts. Anything where you're putting money out on your desk, if you were to put the Bagua map on your desk, which I have done, make sure that that wealth and prosperity area on your desk, in your office, home, or business does not have your receipts in that area because that's money going out. You want money to come in. Yes? So maybe the receipts has an area that's in a desk or a drawer, something like that. So again, it's what the eye falls on because it can be a very physical way of working. Cheryl D, should I change something in my boy's room as he seems to have bad dreams? Okay, this is a really interesting thing. So when we moved in, Joseph said to me, my 16-and-a-half-year-old, he said, Mom, I want the head of my bed over here. And I misjudged how I was working with his room for various reasons, because I was going very deep and it was just, there were so many things happening. So recently, and he's always done okay in school. He's been okay, but his focus has been lacking and all this kind of stuff. So recently, his stepdad and him pulled the room apart. They vacuumed, they cleaned, they did the whole thing. I just stayed out of the way. And he said to me, Mom, I still want it on the side. And I reevaluated his room and I went, you know what? This is a good place to put the head of your bed. So let's put it over here and the way you want, and let's see what happens. He's so instinctive. It was his idea from the beginning. It was a beautiful idea. And I can't even tell you how things have changed for him. So yeah, one of the things you want to think about is there clutter around the head of his bed? What does his room look like? Are there things there, toys? What's underneath the bed? These things can affect your sleep. Okay, these things can really affect your sleep. And make sure he doesn't eat before bed, this one, apparently. That's what I'm being shown too. So with Feng Shui, you can use your intuitive abilities. You can use your psychic enhancements to help the work you're doing. Whereas with traditional Feng Shui, it's very much about what you see, what the compass tells you, and what the calculations are. So you're really looking at the mental physical versus the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual with this particular Black Hat sect type of work. So with your boys' room, take a look at how cleared it is. Children's room should always be cleared. You should have another room for their toys and books and things like that. If you can't, maybe with a bookshelf, like even Joseph, when he was little, he had a bookshelf in his room. And they kept showing me, take the bookshelf out, take the bookshelf out, the library out. And I went, well, my library's in a different room. And then one day I was standing there and I went, that bookshelf's got to go. And as soon as that happened, he started to sleep through the night. And that was until he was about 6. So make sure that the room is calm. Make sure something about his shoes. Make sure the shoes are not under his bed, in his closet, shoes in the closet. I don't know what that means for him particularly. So again, Black Hat sect is very individualized as well. It's about you, it's about your child. And also, how do you find what direction your head should be in? How do you find your particular direction? I am actually going to put right here, I am going to put in a link for everybody, and it's called the Red Lotus Letter.com. And there they have the what do they call it? Your personal directions, okay? Your ideal directions. There's a name for it that's escaping me. So your Bagua for you, your Qua, that's it, your Qua calculator. There is a Qua calculator, K-U-A calculator, and that actually, when you put in your gender, the year you were born, and that's it, that's all you need. It will actually show you what direction you're in. So I'm a west-facing person, okay? So when I sit at a table, you'll see my office, I always sit facing west. At the dinner table, I find my best direction because I can't face west in that my particular dining table. You have 4 auspicious directions and 4 inauspicious directions. So 4 that are not good for you and 4 that are good for you. So I'm west facing, Carla's east facing. Everything is opposite about us, Gemini, Libra, everything. So what do? So because the house on the outside is bought for me, and that the direction of our door is actually facing an auspicious direction for me, inside has to be about Carl, okay? So he sits facing east. Okay, so east facing is really good. That's when he is in his power center. Whenever he has a meeting, he should be sitting in the east, okay? When I was growing up, the house that I grew up in was south facing, which is the worst direction for a west facing person. And my life was very difficult. It was incredibly difficult. I had a house that was direct facing west. It was one of the most prosperous times of my life. Like, I go back on my life and I look at these things and I go, wow, look at the correlations to them. The head of our bed is actually better, I think, for him than it is for me. I'm pretty sure it is, it would be. And that actually helps us as well. But that doesn't mean it's going to fix everything either, right? Because it's a cumulative. Different things you do in different areas are going to help you. Like, Carl's always slept ill, but Carl is also a dream walker, so we've got to take that into consideration. How do you take that into consideration? It might be a picture above the bed. It might be something that you do. So Cheryl says, okay, we read that one. Headboard went, a washroom is on the other side. I don't understand that. No headboard went, a washroom is on the other side. Okay, so I don't understand. If you can rephrase that, Marie-Claude, that'd be great. Now, the headboard. Even though I'm a west-facing person, I should always be facing west when I am sitting at the dinner table. When I am lying down, the headboard should be in the west for me. Okay, so the direction I lie in, where my head is, that should be the direction that is mine. Okay, or I should say the person who you are looking at, the inside of the house. So in this case, it's Carl, right? So the headboard is in his direction. It's east. So what we do to offset it for me, because I spend so much time in that bed, is again, the dresser beside me has all stuff that's mine that enhances my sleep, my work. I have stuff in my pillowcase that helps me. The trees above help to ground me. All those different things for me will help to ground that, because it's actually, the headboard is made for him because the house is in the direction that is auspicious for me. So this is a really amazing link, redlotusletter.com. You're looking for the Qua calculator, and that will also help you understand what directions are the strongest. So let's say you are in a negotiation to sell your house, right? If you're in a negotiation to sell your house, you want to be sitting facing the west. If you're a west-facing person, sitting in the east. If you're an east-facing person, or one of your other auspicious directions. The other thing too is when you're selling your home, African violet will always swing the negotiations your way. African violet is a lovely plant, and this is something that we do look at in Feng Shui, and actually in several different cultures. So that is actually a correlation. And that's the other thing too. Energy work is energy work, right? Like Feng Shui, they have classic ways of cleansing and clearing homes that they actually have in the pagan cultures as well. So you will find crossovers that way. The bottom line here is really live with what you love. Do you have a painting that resonates with you? You know, do I have something that I want to change up every once in a while? I have several different pillows, or pillows that I'll change to different rooms. Like I love my pillows in my bedroom. It says, I love being yours, and life is better when we're together, but sometimes I'll put those in the office because we spend so much time there too together. So those places that you really live in, those are areas you really want to take a look at. What are the situations in your life? Those are the areas you want to bump up in the Qua. Now, if you look at, like I said, and I'm going to show this in the stream one last time, this is a traditional Bagua map, which is the octagon. And the octagon is a really cool one, but it's, again, whoops, I'm going to hide that. I want to hide me. Really important things to look at. So this was your basics in Feng Shui today. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I know I did thoroughly enjoy talking to everybody today. This is something for me that I have really found moved my career and my life forward. Now, before we go, I wanted to touch too on body Feng Shui. You can actually feng shui your body. You can feng shui your clothes, the colors you wear, taking a look at who you are, and it works from the feet up, right? So the feet are the doorways, so to speak. So when I'm looking at wealth and prosperity, I might want to wear a Ganesh, right? Or a money symbol, as you'll see a lot of people doing. Or you might want to wear citrine. Whenever I go out, citrine, because I like to be very unassuming if I can. I wear a citrine if I'm going to an interview, if I'm going to a business meeting, a bracelet that's citrine. Remember that the left side is to take in, the right side is to give. So if you're looking to get to gain money, it's on the left. And if you're looking to be charitable or philanthropic, then it's going to be the right side to give. Okay. Camilla did her thing. She said her quad number is 3, element is big wood, her color is brown and dark green. Awesome. So knowing your numbers is really important too, because in feng shui, numbers help you determine what is an auspicious home. So my house adds up to the number 5, which is about transitions. So this home is a mediary place where we can either make it very happy or make it very sad. It's transition, right? It's up to us. I mean, it's always up to us, but 5 is very definitely about transition and transitory. So these are the very, very basics of feng shui. But with black hat feng shui, it covers so much because, again, it's live with what you love. What is your intuition? You're standing here and going, something needs to change. What is that? And when you pinpoint it, you kind of go, okay, what area is that? How would I like to change that? Why does it feel a little off? And then shift it. Play. It's a game. This is life, man. Life is fun. The other thing, too, that's really important, electronics in the room. You want as few electronics in your room as you can possibly have. I live with an IT guy, so a lot of it is confined either to the office or the basement area. Remember that computers, things like that, is fire, so you want to make sure you offset that with wood or things like that. For me, I have Phoebe in that office. I have a lot of grounding stuff that's mine in the office to ground his stuff. In the basement, we have the workout stuff, and we have the pool table, which is made of wood, which also grounds fire. Well, it doesn't actually ground fire, it actually escalates fire, but I have the metal, which is the exercise equipment, which actually grounds it as well. So remember that these things are very, very important to take into consideration. And you can go to the store and you can buy books like this. This is my favorite. How do I do this? This is my favorite book. It's called The Feng Shui Doctor. And it's very basic, and I'm sorry it's all kind of dirty. It was actually in a fire. It survived a fire a very long time ago. The Feng Shui Doctor is really great because it has the basics of Feng Shui. It has, look at that, I fell on the Bagua map, right? And it's got all these wonderful little tidbits. And also it talks about kids, it talks about colors. Go online if you don't want to buy anything. You will find a plethora of information on feng shui and basic feng shui just to enhance your life. You can use it in your garden. My garden is feng shuied. I have my money plants like basil in the money area, right? Same just for cleansing and clear. I want my family to be healthy. So that's in my money area, and it kind of seeps into my family area. So you can do this with all kinds of stuff. I mean, you could talk about this all day and all night. It's so exciting. So please enjoy the rest of your day. Go online, look up more feng shui. Feel free to watch this video and steal those maps that I have posted on here because they're for you. And I will see you next week, and we're going to have a lot of fun. I haven't decided what our topic's going to be, but I will tell you it's going to be a great topic. Thank you for your questions today. I've really enjoyed myself, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Bye, everybody, and thank you so much for being here. So I'm going to do this one.